mediums. I'm not talking about just Facebook. See, yours is not B2C, right? Yours is B2B, right? And you should tell a lot of stories around your business. Quality of your work or the product that you deal with, all those stories, right? Those storytellings will improve your conversion rates. Now, the world is becoming digital, and people are really excited about, oh, digital, I'll jump into digital. Digital will turn my business into a multi-million dollar business because digital is new. See, digital is not marketing. Marketing is marketing. Digital is just another platform. It's just an enabler. Digital is just an enabler. It is a
It is
tool.
a tool.
Marketing,
Marketing.
someone is unmuted. Okay. See, marketing is the concept. So storytelling, if you look at any advertisement back in TVC and everything, right? What do they do? They do storytelling. So you need to do a lot of storytelling around your business for your conversion rate optimization. I think your campaign has reached a saturation. So I put X amount of money, I get Y amount of result. It has become a constant. Now, if you want to break the barrier, you can break the barrier by changing the brand voice, or improving the brand. I wouldn't say changing the brand voice, but improving the brand voice, improving the storytelling. Those things will help you, Adit. If I've answered your question.
I do get a hint, but following up on your lines, whatever ads have been put out for the last 2 years are in the form of a pictures and a very nice brief caption explaining about the picture and then asking them to sign up. Give me the lead so that I follow up on them. So, with regards to, let's say, if I want to mix up something here in the form of a story to compensate a story, the way I think is, rather than a picture ad, I need to do a video ad. Now, again, there are two aspects to a video ad. Do I do it in house by myself, wherein it is not professional, but it conveys the message, or do I invest some amount in the video behind the video and then use that video to promote uh, through Facebook ads? Will that
Uh,
change be good enough to start with, or is there something else I could play around with?
okay, if you're using only image and text, you're 5 years old. Sorry to say that. I'm being very candid here. I'm sorry about it, but the truth is that, see, today, even within video, right? A good biryani recipe on YouTube used to take about 30 minutes, 20-minute video. Today, they want to learn everything. The third same biryani making is taught in 30 seconds. Even within video, things have even become shorter content. That's the way. Other people do not have time. Trust me. In the next generation, I don't know. Probably something like 3-second video might come. I don't know. I'm just saying. But see, people are highly distracted. People have a lot of options online these days. So if you have not used video, you have the answer there itself. Reduced text, reduced images does not sell anymore. Storytelling, the best way of doing is videos. And videos, it does not mean that you should always go to a model, to an actor, actress. You should find a big influencer and all that. You can be your influencer, and there is nobody better than you being the influencer. First 4 or 5 videos, you will find it really hard. Hello, did I get cut off? Okay. So I was telling that, did you get the influencer part?
Yes, I understood.
Yeah. So you become the person, talk about your business. If not, you can do a lot of explainer videos. You can do a lot of use case of your products. Testimonials, please. Businesses should take in account of testimonials. See, digital people. There was a time when people really got excited on digital businesses. Today, the trust is not there. right? Hello. Okay. So people need to trust you. How would they trust? Somebody else bought. They give a thumbs up to you. People would like to buy from you. So these are some things you need to do. You need to do your service product explanatory videos. You need to do brand building videos. You can also do your own personal branding around it, and then you do uh, your customer testimony videos. These are the things I'll tell you to do, and the key answer to you is videos. Yes, that's what sells these days.
Thank you so much for your inputs.
You're welcome, man.
Hello. Yeah. This is Selvam. I'm basically an entrepreneur. I'm in basically working in a company also. I'm looking care of the project Lighthouse of McKinsey. Okay. So I also go with Mr. Mani's version of that we should start with organic and paid. I would like to ask one question is, in what is the time of transformation that I should initially continue with my organic, the digital, the in-depth pitching of my product and my branding, and probably I'll be moving to my paid, and what level I have to migrate from this to that. Thank you.
It's again a subjective question, Selvam. We need to look at your business. It varies from business to business, product to product, service to service. But generally, what I would like to tell you is, like, normally in the industry, they say that search engine optimization takes 3 to 6 months to give any type of result. That is, these days it is more relevant for long tail keywords. If you are just broad, and if you are trying to, let's say, for example, you're trying to go behind credit cards, right? Credit card is one of the highly competitive keywords. In the top tier of competition will be that. So if you're going behind that, you need to put a lot of money, lot of time, you have to give for it. So that's a subjective question. Again, I'll to answer that in a broader sense. You take a 70/30 approach. Your investment in terms of paid start with 70, but slowly, gradually reduce. At what point the transformation should happen is when your cost per conversion is consistently increasing, and you see, with the type of increase that is happening, you will see a day when, okay, another 3 months, this mode of paid marketing will not work for me because my cost per conversion will be equivalent to my it'll surpass your target cost per conversion. So that is what you need to be careful about. You should not invest more than what your profit ratio, or whatever, your marketing budget. It should not go beyond that. And more importantly, you need to understand the lifetime value of your product. So, for example, if you have a repeat purchase pattern in your business, right? You repeat purchase every month. Say, let's say, for example, grocery. If you are acquiring a customer, and if the customer is going to buy every month for 12 months, then you can go beyond the first time purchase profit margin, because you're looking at a lifetime value. So these are the metrics, I would say. But do not no, instead of do not, I would say keep a tab on your cost per conversion, see the pattern, how it's increasing, and you yourself will get the answer. Okay, I cannot keep going like this. Another 6 months, I will saturate. But if to answer one question of yours, I will tell you, your organic strategy should start on the day one, as well as your paid strategy. The transformation from that to this should happen based on your cost per conversion and all those things.
Thank you, Mr. Mani. I would like to ask one more question is, can we initially start with our own social media mastery and do the testing? And once we are flexible and okay and we understood the pulse, can we go for digital launch? Can we initially, am I audible now?
Is it better now?
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
Selvam. Uh, yeah, Selvam. Yes, Selvam. Business owners should know what is happening in digital. See, I would tell you, there was a time when. Okay, I would put it this way: what makes a person, fully an entrepreneur? Or how, when do you call him an entrepreneur? He need not know accounting like a CA, right? Like a chartered accountant. He should know fundamentals of everything, fundamentals of human resource management, fundamentals of finance, fundamentals of everything. And they say, right, inch wide, mile deep, right? You should, that the T, right? One of the things you should know deep, but rest of the things you should know the fundamentals. So to reiterate my answer to your point, an entrepreneur should know how digital works, the world of digital and entrepreneurs. He may not become an SEO expert himself, an AdWords expert himself, but he should know what is what. So you need to start it yourself, with by yourself, or with an intern in your office, and then you slowly go to a bigger team or an external agency.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, hi. I'm audible. Hello. Yeah. So as I'm seeing the topic, how to improve business sales digitally, and I'm sure this is whatever the experience I can share for related to startup. So one is when you talk about the sales. So the important factor is again, just people are talking about the conversion. That means already there is some traction happened. So that's why we are talking about the conversion. Here, end of the day, if you talk about the closing or sales, the picture is trust. Trust factor is one of the major picture when when sales is going to be happen. Before sales, might be you'll be doing a marketing and you'll be doing branding and of the things. All those things come to a particular juice. That juice called as a create a trust. That is a one of the goal, one point. And second point is might be important. First of all, it's all about like a pain, right? Pain points. List out the pain points. I can share my recent experience. So I used to search for 14-inch laptop backpack. So I'm not getting opportunity to get a 14-inch laptop backpack. So in Flipkart, so they said that there is no stock availability because of couple of reasons. So then I'll be getting couple of websites, but I'm not getting the trust whether really I can buy the laptop back or not. But might be a small ticket. So I thought that okay, anyway, I got a holiday, so let's try. I went to some Abits and I used to shopping there. I visited some of the wholesale bag shop, and the whole point is here whether it may be offline or online. Always I'll be thinking, so can I trust these people? There, I got an opportunity. Someone like I referred, hey, not a problem. You can buy those guys. So here, what I understand is in online, if it is startup, we should get this some juice from authority. Let us say we found out. I'll simply say, okay, let me talk about. We'll find out the one pain point. Might be if your business related to computers or any industry. In your industry, who is the audience? Might be the audience. So then you can find out the what are the pain points, what really people are pain points. Basically it's a keywords, what kind of keywords people are really searching. So once if you understand the pain point, so normally we'll be writing blog, and the whole goal is to get the reach out and someone should buy. But here in this transaction, again I am going to tell about, especially in our India. So there are a couple of webinar, there are a couple of educational ideas. The people will feel it's not like that only reading blog. When they are listening something, might be you can leverage the podcast, you can leverage the webinars. The whole point is you can create a small YouTube teaser video on the particular point. So these kind of things, when the people are seeing to say your face on digitally, these are the things will come into picture part in the trust. So slowly people can see the ratings and reviews. Might be luckily mutual contact, someone say some our mutual contacts, hey, this is the guy. So as long as you're doing a campaign narrow, definitely you will get all these opportunity. he, the same thing as a customer, when I'm going to see laptop, I saw the reviews, I saw the ratings. So somewhere I find, hey, there is a bits and I bought or something. So immediately, hey, luckily I got, hey, Raju, where did you? No, I got this. So what I understand is through this kind of ratings, reviews, customer testimonials, through our network, and giving a webinars and videos, all these things our mind will. The first point is pain point, because end of the day I should need, customer should have need. In that need, we are getting the information. Along with that information, we are creating, hey, these are the people, like-minded people already did. So I hope you understand the whole process. These things will help you into conversion pattern. So I guess Money will explain more better. It's all more like a storytelling, I guess. Yeah, Money, I'm done.
Tufel, Tufel, do you want this room to be open to public or closed as it is? I have the administrative rights to open the room today. Yes. No, you need to have administrative rights to do. Do you want me to open it? All right. Okay. The room is open now.
Hello everyone. Thanks for this opportunity. I'm a freelancer digital marketer. So I'm helping a lot of businesses also with content creation and a lot of digital marketing strategies like sales funnel and all. So yeah, the business opportunity uh, in digital is like booming right now because there are a lot of platforms available. But I think we need to more focus into strategy. Uh, because all platform are not for all the businesses. So if you can just target a very specific niche and target very specific platform, then you can achieve your goals.
Hello. Hi, can you hear me? Yeah. Hi. Hi, Tufel. Hi, Raghav. Mani, Anoop. We've all interacted. I've interacted with many of you, most of you here. So I'm glad that I have the opportunity to interact again. So a bit about me. I am a 0 to 1 marketing expert, and while I entered this room, this is a question that mostly a lot of startups who come to me as clients, okay, they tell me that we want a strategy on improving our business through digital ways, right? And then they would explain their business, saying that look, this is what my business is about, and now we need a strategy for paid marketing or digital content creation, and so on and so forth. So this happened. This has happened a lot of times, and through a process, now I realize that a lot of startup entrepreneurs themselves, or people who are, even say 1 year down the line, 2 years down the line, there's very little understanding of what their niche is, okay, what their differentiation points are. So now what I've done is to get into this mode of creating a strategy for them. I kind of give them a questionnaire saying that, look, what exactly is your core value proposition? And I kind of interview them, give this questionnaire. And when I interview them, as I said, I mean, there's very, very little understanding. And then, you can give a very generic strategy. but then it doesn't work if it's generic, right? And I think there was a gentleman who asked the question, at what stage do I transition from organic to paid, right? So people typically would have tried a lot of things, and then they say, no, look, now I need to get into paid. And that also is a function of the fact that a lot of times the organic has not worked too well, and therefore, there's this idea in their mind that if I do a paid intervention, maybe my results will be better. But the fact of the matter is, once you understand the niche, and this niche comes from talking to the customers, going to where those customers are. So there was, I think, Sundar, or sorry, Chakrapani, who was saying about the 14-inch laptop bag. Okay, and the thing is that you have to kind of go to that place where the customer has actually made a point of purchase. Interview him. How did he arrive at selecting a 14-inch bag with this feature and not that? And that's where you get the answers, right? And once you get those answers, you realize that your channels might be very different, right? So, for example, I was doing this client survey for, insight survey for one of my clients, and 3 out of 5 clients who interviewed, which is around 60%, said that their go-to channel was not Google, it was Reddit. Okay, so Reddit was the go-to medium for them to get information on their problems that they were looking solutions for. And it was not Google, it was not some other mechanism, but Reddit. And increasingly, it just came out more strongly as and when this insight got, this study came into fruition, that Reddit was a very strong medium, which I think no consultant had suggested to them, or no agency had suggested to them. So what I'm saying is that knowing the insights is the most important part, and then everything, once you know the insights, everything just falls into place, everything starts making sense. And that's my only suggestion, that a lot of problems can actually be solved by going to where the customers are, trying to have very, very depth interviews which can mine a lot of information, and then you get those directions which you're looking for. And that's really the point that I wanted to add. And yeah, so I'm done speaking, and thank you for the opportunity.
Hey, thanks, Sufel. Um, this topic is very close to my heart. I work with a lot of small, medium-sized businesses in my agency, and many a times I notice that they come to marketing agencies thinking that their sales will improve and not their marketing. Not a bad expectation to have, but a marketing agency doesn't do sales, right? And there's always a conflict there, saying that, oh, why is my sales not improving, although I'm getting hundreds of leads? And there are reasons for that, of course, but I don't want to spend a lot of time on that. Let me talk about three different types of sales situations that we are seeing today. One, of course, is e-commerce. So you go to a website through an ad or something and purchase something, right? Or you search for something and purchase something. Now, SEO and conversion rate optimization and website itself, and how to make it simple, two-step process, three-step process, buyer psychology, behavioral psychology, all these are aspects being used in the e-commerce industry today, and it's matured enough that anybody who wants to start a e-commerce has a plug and play solution available. The second type of sale that we see is the customer is seeking something and comes to your store. Basically, they're looking for new specs or new, let's say, clothing, or let's say specific craft uh, work material for their kids project, right? They Google search it and they come to your shop. So that is another aspect of sale that we are seeing, which is digitally driven. It's not digital sales, but it's a digitally driven, wherein you do a Google search and you search typically, um, specs maker near me or hospital near me, etc. These are all location dependent businesses, And if your business is not on Google Maps, that is Google My Business today, you're losing a lot of customers. In fact, this thing called Google My Business has enhanced a lot. You can put your phone number, people can call, and all those other things can happen. And it's a wonderful medium for small shops and businesses that are location dependent or kind of cater to customers in a particular location, even including your haircutting saloons and other places. um, and the final type of business we have, I mean, sales we see is the consultative nature, where you put people on a Zoom call. You are an agency or a service provider, and you are talking to a customer and closing that sale. Basically, there a salesperson is involved, and a high trust environment has to be built, and all that good stuff. It's a regular sales, right? You're consulting, and you are not selling anything, any product, but you're selling a service. So in the third case, being found on Google is not enough, but also building trust in you as a person, as a company, as an agency is very important. So it could be reviews, it could be a lot of articles, education, customer education, information, etc., that you put out there, or you come to Clubhouse and speak a lot, like I do, and people think that you know enough about these problems that you're talking about to solve it for them, which is perfectly fine. So it starts with, at some level, a trust build, and then it goes forward. And how does the digital sales work? Three things happen when you are trying to sell anything digitally today. One is high trust environment has to be built. Either you build it or somebody else builds it for you, like Amazon does, or you build it yourself through SEO and through articles and other things. The second thing is multiple touch points. What is a touch point? A touch point is where a customer interacts with something you have put out there. Maybe read an article, maybe download something, maybe have a chat, maybe read a review, etc. These are all touch points, and the number of touch points have increased. They were 7 touch points earlier, then it became about 18 touch points. Now, according to McKinsey, it's about 25 touch points before a potential customer purchases something from you. The last and the final thing is the ability to get service. Most customers are looking to purchase and then be serviced if at all they have a problem. Where do I go? Okay, let us say I buy a TV on Amazon. Who's going to install it? Do I have to install this TV, mount it on the wall myself? Who's going to do it? Is somebody going to come in and help me out? So post sale service has become a very, very important aspect of sale itself, where the selling process is determined by how well you will cater to me after I become a customer. So if you're not somehow giving the signals out in the world that we cover all the three aspects, your sales are going to suffer. And how to do that? I would say, I mean, there are a lot of tactics, SEO and the digital ads and all that. The entire digital marketing ecosystem is there to help you get your customers noticed. That is on the product part. On the service part, it is still a very tricky thing. People still tell me, let us meet up, and I tell them, hey, I'm based out of Kerala or I'm based out of Bangalore, depending on the month of the year. And they say, oh, you know what, I'm in Delhi. And suddenly, you know this doesn't happen. The sale suffers because the location dependency is still there. In spite of the pandemics, many people say, let us meet up. So until unless you're building up strong artifacts out there, strong thought leadership, let us say, right, very difficult for another human being to just randomly trust you if you're selling a service, because services cannot be felt. They're intangible. And intangible means nobody wants to put in, $1,000 on you immediately and say, okay, let us start working. It doesn't happen. You have to establish a lot of trust. A lot of discussions have to happen, which means you need to have all the digital artifacts, like your presentations, videos, webinars, whatever it is there, that establishes your expertise and trust available to the customer whenever they require it, or you send it voluntarily. And the last and the final piece is thought leadership, which is often not looked upon by many people, especially in the consulting slash services industry. You have to establish thought leadership either on Google or on your blog or on LinkedIn or any of the social media. It can't be dance videos. No, that is not the thought leadership I'm talking about. I'm talking about expertise, where you are saying that, hey, I know things that you probably have not yet thought of. And that is what thought leadership is all about. You're pushing the boundaries of what people think is true, right, or the knowledge itself. And once you start doing that, trust buildup is faster. I'm done. I'll speak again later when asked for. Thank you.
Yeah, can you hear me? Hello? Okay. So the problem that I'm trying to solve is I have never marketed, I'm in healthcare. So there is a two-part problem. One is, as Anup rightfully said, a trust building exercise. The other part that is significant in healthcare is that we know the customer. The issue is, how do we close the care gaps without them realizing we are trying to close the care gaps. For example, that we are supposed to touch the patient at about 100 different touch points, but the care gaps exist because we have just a very huge panel. What my mind is thinking is that if I have a matrix that I'm responsible for, how do I use marketing and social media in such a manner that that a slew of nudges can be sent through social media to these patients without them realizing that we are trying to get them to behave in a particular way. If that makes sense, I will stop and listen to you all, see if you can address it, or if you have any questions, the problems I'm trying to solve. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand, Ravindra, exactly what is the issue here that you're facing, in the sense you said
So,
multiple touch points and the customer knows this.
in healthcare, we are given a panel of patients. Each of our health centers have, say, 40,000 patients, and we are supposed to touch that patient at at about 100 touch points, say well checkup, or if has diabetes, we are supposed to make sure that he has 4 times a year, or if he has hypertension, we are supposed to touch him every month or whatnot. But how to automate this process, because patient behavior is the most critical factor in their health, and how do we modulate their behavior rather than having to call them all the time, or physicians spending a lot of time with them, whatnot. How do we use marketing and social media to close these care gaps, and of course, as Anup, you very well said, how to build the trust in the brand. That is a bigger question to solve through social media. But because healthcare in US is so bloated, the demand is so high, we all get fat and inefficient, and nobody cares. But the things are changing, so environment is changing. That how do we use all these social channels and medias in changing patients' behavior? Does it make sense, Anup, or should I
Yeah,
explain more?
yeah, yeah. It does. It does. So slightly different question than So, or the patient is already a customer, right? And now you want
Right,
to ensure that they stay with you and they take care of themselves, so they don't
right.
remain a customer. Because if they keep coming
Yes,
back, then you're doing a poor job, right?
yes,
Uh,
yes, yes,
and it's a US market, so a
yes.
lot of okay, a lot of social issues there, right? So one of the things is concerns about privacy that comes up. I have a solution. I can tell you the solution, but I'm
Uh-huh,
not very well versed with the US market, and I do not know if this will be very well accepted there or not. But anywho, let
uh-huh,
me narrate what the solution is. With your
uh-huh.
experience, you can just see if this
Sure,
works or not.
absolutely.
Um, Penetration of WhatsApp in the US is not very high, but people still use it,
Hmm.
right? And So WhatsApp has a lot of APIs out there for businesses now where you can use
Mm-hmm.
WhatsApp
Mm-hmm.
and you can personalize, and there are a lot of WhatsApp bots and systems available which allows you to um, let's say automatically feed information through the WhatsApp API,
Mm-hmm.
which
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
means if I am a patient and I'm a diabetic, let's assume, right?
Right, right.
And I come to your clinic and you have my history, patient history assessment, and you have given me certain medications and certain lifestyle changes that I'm supposed to do. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
instead of a doctor calling me over and over again, what you
Mm-hmm.
can use is a simple system, a chat based system on WhatsApp.
Mm-hmm.
I'll not get into the nitty gritty of how to set it up, but rather how to
Yes,
use
yes,
it.
sir. Sure,
Uh,
sure.
Once somebody is a patient, they come in, you
Mm-hmm.
a message interaction starts with the patient,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and you can
Mm-hmm.
pre-schedule them every day. Let's say at 10 a.m. they get a message saying that if have a smartphone or whatever, just measure your blood glucose level today, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
what is the level?
yeah.
And and they say yes, okay, and then
Mm-hmm.
after let's say 10
Mm-hmm.
20 minutes another message goes, is it
Yeah, yeah.
above this range, below this range? There are multiple options. They select an option and click yes or
Yeah,
click
yeah.
send, and
Mm-hmm.
based on that option you trigger another set of messages saying that, oh great, okay, you're under control today, don't worry, enjoy your life,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
have a coffee for lunch right, or something like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
just an
yeah, yeah,
interactive
yeah,
message.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You can make it
And
very human centric also. Let us say
yeah.
they are on the borderline. Let us say the glucose levels are higher than what you want them to be.
Yeah,
Immediately
yeah.
somebody in the staff can take over through a
Mm-hmm.
centralized interface.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And this
yeah.
interface is not on their phone, but it's a centralized single number interface where somebody who's medically qualified takes over and says, Mr.
Mm-hmm.
Anup,
Yeah,
seems like you have a issue today,
yeah,
so I
yeah,
would like you to take these pills that were given, or kind of
yeah, yeah,
have a small bite of a chocolate or something like that. You have
yeah, yeah, yeah,
before
yeah,
you faint or something like that. So
yeah, yeah.
it's possible
So
today.
yeah, Livongo, a company by Teledoc, does exactly that. But what I have in mind was, I'll give you example that in say 300 million, the biggest issue that we are having is that people just don't think about their health until something happens, and that is the biggest problem, because that is what stops us from catching the problem in time for us to be helpful to assure their health. 50% of the population doesn't get an annual checkup. And I think one solution is to make sure that we look at our panel who have it, who don't have it, and instantly call them and whatnot. What I'm thinking is that the half of the panel, say, I know who they are, and I can somehow give a marketer that data, uh, and then just promote uh, the well checkup with them in a manner so that they get the importance of it. They get, and then the same thing can be said about different screenings at different age groups, a mammogram at 40, or whatever that might be. But how to build a system of automatic nudges that will capture their attention, like for example, I like Italian shoes, right? And because of my searches and whatnot, Google knows freaking that I like Italian shoes. So suddenly all the freaking companies in the world that sell Italian shoes are trying to sell me Italian shoe, right? So how does one create a model that I know what age group needs what kind of screenings or whatnot, so that this bot is constantly trying to sell those services to these patients so that they understand that it is important for them.
You're talking about storytelling, and it's absolutely fine. See, the bots are dumb. Whatever you
Right,
feed them is what they
right,
follow.
right.
We
I
can
get that. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can always build a sequence saying that, happy birthday, Mr. Anup, you just hit 40.
yeah. Right.
Now your health is going into another level. You're grading up, right?
Hmm.
And
Right.
as as a superhuman, you need to monitor it very carefully or something. I mean, you can make it as interactive as you want. and keep
Right.
nudging, right? I mean, keep giving something, hey, John recently came in and realized that his I don't know, iron levels were pretty low. That is why he was feeling very drowsy and tired. Have you checked
Mm-hmm.
this recently? Have you
Mm-hmm.
felt any of these symptoms? So one
Mm-hmm.
way is to do fear based, another way is to do encouragement based, saying that, hey, uh, you
Mm-hmm.
know I don't know, Sandra came in and she's going for a marathon run, and she is at
Right.
the
Right.
peak
Right.
of her health, and she wants
Mm-hmm.
to win the marathon this time around. So we have created a specific monitoring and exercise plan for her to
Mm-hmm.
achieve her
Mm-hmm.
goals. What are your health goals this year?
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
So these are two different directions, but you can take any direction you want. And this narrative build up is a
Right.
communication, or the marketing communication and storytelling
Yeah.
is very
Mm-hmm.
important. It has to be done very, very carefully, because you can
Mm-hmm.
alienate a lot of people very fast. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Another big problem I will give you is that um, I don't know. I mean, I haven't been to India for a bit, so but here, loneliness in older people is the biggest um, problem in their health. Because they are just lonely. The life is getting longer. The age expectancy is longer. So and it creates a lot of problems. It creates depression, all of that. And how to alleviate that is, so there is a company called Coco. They alleviated by creating a some kind of nudges in the social domain, so that these people are connected with the other people with the same kind of issues. So creating a platform. I think for marketing and social media, I think its biggest promises ultimately not direct marketing, but it is indirect marketing in the form of nudges and whatnot to change people's behavior. You know what I mean? And is that accomplishable?
Yeah, Anup, shall I take this one?
Please go
Uh,
ahead.
yeah, I just want to give us some suggestion that why
Right.
we in this health sector we can tie up with the insurance, okay, offering preventive services as a free, and also like tie up with the insurance, make that people are who are focusing on their health, they get a free checkup. Then they realize that whenever they go to insurance, okay, health insurance, they have the yearly ones preventive checkups like screening and mammography and everything. So doing those things, then you can add those people into your customers, okay, and also have track with them, and you can also pull up it as a participating or its non-participating providers, okay, to
Yeah.
the healthcare, okay.
Yeah.
And also one more thing, uh, concentrating on the children's, okay, realize
Mhm.
that more benefited, because nowadays people not care about themselves, okay, the children's they care more, okay. So you
Mhm.
have to make sure that pulling the children's awareness, okay, that makes that sentiment of them, okay, they definitely come back to you. Along with that, you have to convert to them to take
Mhm.
that precautionary steps, because health is more valuable thing, okay. Once
Mhm.
you lost, that never come back. So that things you have to give the education of them, okay. Letting
Mhm.
taking the preventive test, okay, preventive treatment doesn't make
Mhm.
anything, just to get the awareness of your future how it will be. And also
Yeah.
one more thing, I have seen the recent technology, that
Mhm.
technology is makes with all the data with a kind of small sim card chips, okay. So there will be like getting that, it's still at developing, okay. So
Mhm.
that chip contains that human health and the records with the, they can able to see in the through mobile or else can watches or somewhere, okay, in the
Mhm.
display form, okay. So they
Mhm.
can predict that if in case he getting the cardiac arrest or else any health risk, they
Sidhu,
really make sure 50% give that in that technology
Sidhu,
give
is
them
this Sidhu,
predicting.
is this speculative now? Are you going to into speculated territory now?
So no.
No, I think what um, Anup was saying was correct. Sidhu, what the problem is that
Okay.
the things that you're recommending, insurance companies giving the list of the care gaps, the issue is not the information. Issue is information is there for the taking through data analytics, whatnot. But the issue is our human behavior, that we are always focused on what is immediate right now. We are not focused on a long-term thinking or whatnot, that kind of thing. And how do we use this access to human beings that social media has built, the insights that the social media has built into all of us? How to use that?
May
Not to
I,
sell the shoes, but
sure.
how to use that to change for people's behavior.
May I suggest somebody? I mean, I know
Yes.
one person. His name is Anuj Mehta. He's based
Uh,
out of Delhi, but he's
uh-huh.
done a lot of work with hospitals in India using this type of tech platforms that I was talking about.
Sure,
If
sure.
you have a direct chat with him, maybe there is something that you both can come up with.
Right.
And they,
And no, no, Anup, I am not very well versed in the field that you all are in, but I think I can connect the dots in my head that how when other marketing companies are connecting the dots to sell to me for a product or whatever they are trying to do. How Facebook uses that this person in your network like this thing, you might like this, that kind of thing. So if it can be used to sell things, why cannot be it used to change people's behavior in a manner that people learn, or people will understand? Because if it came from somebody close to them, that that person did had a well checkup today, and this were the benefits, in from your group, because it is peer reviewed, that kind of thing. I'll shut up because I think I have taken a lot of everybody's time. I appreciate it, but just food for thought this morning to me, and I think evening to you, I suppose. Thank you so much.
thank you, pleasure. I'll connect you with Anuj. He will be able to
Sure,
help you.
absolutely. Thank you so much.
Back to you, Tufel.
Sure.
Yeah, nothing much, Tawfiq. I think I'm just here to listen. Okay.
Santosh himself is very accomplished. Santosh, you should add your thoughts to this topic actually.
Great. Just one point. I mean, there's nothing to discuss much on that, but I'm not an expert in marketing. But then, yeah, I'm an international trade, precisely. Just a quick word. What we've been doing right now for our consulting stuffs is, we have been generating leads through Quora. That's one of the things which we have been doing, writing articles around my topics, which I'm into exports and imports. So that's how the major of my leads comes in. Um, that's one of the heads up which I want to give it to you, and that Quora still is working for us, and we've been not consistently writing the answers there, but then yeah, over the period of a week, we have been able to. I myself write the answers there, so close to 10 to 15 answers a week. Um, I'm able to write it and able to generate quite a number of leads on a side gig business. So that's a pretty, I can say, uh, um, somewhat which is working for us, and I would like to share it to you. That's a heads up from my end. Thank you.
Hi, Tofil. I just wanted to add a little bit, from the I haven't heard the whole conversation, but from whatever I heard, uh, I kind of agree with Sidhu in the fact that tying up with the insurance companies would be one thing to look at, and then picking up the data that they have and kind of creating custom audiences from that data to which you feed out the various things that you want to do, or the messages that you want to put across in terms of preventive a preventive kind of steps that they can take in order to take care of their health. So but the thing would be getting the data that you have, and if you have the data, basically creating certain custom audiences from which you can then use different social media platforms to target the message that you want to put across. For example, if you have you're looking at diabetics, or you want to look at a certain set of people to come in for a particular kind of a test or a particular checkup, then using the data that you have to kind of pinpoint the people that you want to put this message across to, creating those custom audiences, and then pushing out a certain set of messages that you might want. So you might have different messages for the people of different age groups, and target them with those different messages through the custom audiences that you create. That would be one way of looking at it, in order to kind of put things across to people for the preventive care that you would like them to take, etc. And these messages can be kind of put across at different intervals to a different set of people, and put it in a continuous kind of a loop, so that you get the effect that you want to create. That's my contribution to the discussion that was taking place. I think that just creating those custom audiences and then targeting them with ads, like just like Google does or Facebook does or all the other people do, would be a way of kind of going at it. But like Anup said, the messaging would be pretty important, the storytelling, so that it kind of creates that. Uh, you know that 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 message gets kind of absorbed by the audience that you want to put that message to. And that's all from me right now. Thanks.
Thank you, Sheldon. Thank you.
Good evening, sir. So, yeah, I'm very new to this discussion, and I was joined, I think, very late to the discussion, I guess. So, I can tell one thing. I agree with Sheldon. Yeah. So it's all about storytelling. So we have to convey things in a such a way that customers should understand, and it should not hurt the emotions of the person, and it should convey in a such a way that. It has to touch the emotional part, as well as what we call the story has to make him to take the call to action. So that will be better, and that's what I think. And also I can say that I'm very new to the digital marketing. I started my new job recently, 3 months back. So I don't have that much of exposure in digital marketing or any kind of practical exposure in the corporate. So these are the only point that I have with me today, this evening. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, my question is to attract that right kind of people, we have to take that branches like example. If that care of healthcare, okay, we cannot connect to the healthcare to the people. Okay, we can find that separate routes like insurance or else child treatment, children treatment, and also awareness of recurring what kind of vaccines. In this, if this kind of places, we can take an opportunities to make educate the people about health, and also publicity to kind of things, whoever we can target to them. And also we can develop as well as in the forum of digitally these things like we can even in the tie-up of making the payments modes, like even I see that recently Google Pay also offer for some kind of medical checkup for 1200 is to get that all kind of 59 health checkups. Okay, so this makes that for cost of 1200 rupees we can get that preventive test. Okay, so we get an offer kind of this kind of digital payment modes. We can also give that offer to people to know that about the facilities which are available in our side. So make that uh, grab that all the kinds of people that and also they are giving that doorsteps it seems. So whenever they contact with the digitally, okay, they selected offer, so the doctors will visit to home and take the blood and take the checkups and give the suggestions, and make sure that work very smoothly, and also happens in the same as like insurance sectors as well. So these modes we can occupy in the digital form to build our healthcare sectors. Yeah, yes, absolutely correct.
Yeah, I'm here. See, the, yeah, go ahead, Tufel. Complete your question, please. See, one of the biggest frictions I see here is people want to jump into digital directly, and always tell them don't do that. You have a physical store. Let's say you were doing things physically. You have to do digital first, right? As in transition from physical to digital in a slow step-by-step manner, rather than jumping into e-commerce model, which may not work at all, because everything from accounting to customer satisfaction and the customer perception, everything is different in the business model. So don't change your business model rapidly. Rather, if you, let's say, are used to doing things physically, try to improve that using digital tools. For example, simple things like accounting. If you were doing it on, let's say, Excel sheet or on the paper or on Tally, and you did not have a concept of it, use something like Zoho Books or Zoho Invoices to automate that. If you were always on call, try using WhatsApp a lot more. You can put all your products on a WhatsApp business account now. It is possible, it is not difficult to put that. So your customers get an understanding of what products you sell. The catalog is available on WhatsApp, but you still are closing deals on phone or in person. So the transition cannot be a sudden transition, because your team, your sales team, your operations team, your accounts team, nobody is ready for it. It has to be a gradual and slow step by step transition. You can't go from 1 to 100 all of a sudden and expect people to just adjust to it. It won't happen. So my recommendation today, and today my recommendation to people is start using Google My Business. If you have a shop, a physical shop, use Google My Business. It's a wonderful tool. People say, oh, Google dependency and all that. No, it is not Google dependency. It gives you more exposure. It's free. It is not going to stop you doing your business. Only the incoming inquiries improve, you know. So that is the lowest hanging fruit in transforming into a digital or digital first company. Don't become digital first, be physical first. Start slowly improving things where you feel frustrated. For example, one thing for me was sending invoices. Manually sending invoices is very painful, so I just paid a little bit of money to this tool called Zoho Invoices, and I send invoices through that. But even simple small solutions that improve certain aspects of your operations today, you can start there. So one of the mistakes, don't do the mistake of jumping into digital fully. It won't work, it will fail, and then you will curse everything, and then we will say, I wasted a lot of money and nothing happened. So that's my recommendation. Now everyone to their own, I mean, however they want to take it, but start slow is what I say.
Yeah, I definitely agree on, yeah, what you said, that 100%. I agree with that, because doing physically is the main thing. Later, digital will be just kind of helping to the physical. That's it. My intention is what you are doing that physically is the main, need to be connecting. The connecting purpose, we have to use the digital, not the not the 100% we have to jump into the digital. It might really broke that business. I really agree with you.
Same here, Anup. Well said. If I may say, I will recommend a article that was written by Dr. Lakhani from MIT called "Competing in the Age of AI." He also wrote a book on it. He was also a professor to me, and I totally recommend it. Fundamentally, what Anoop said was that digitizing just for the sake of digitizing doesn't make sense. You must understand where you're coming from, but digitizing just give you visibility in all your decisions. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less, and that kind of thing. But and that particular article, I think, will go a long way, in trying to say that where we are in this age of AI and digitizing and whatnot. It is called Competing in the Age of AI by Dr. Lakhani from MIT. Thanks.
Thank you. Would love to give it a read. It's on my reading list now. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thanks. Sure. Absolutely.
In fact, about digital sales, Tufel, when you started the room, you must have thought about digital sales, right? Sales digitally. Is it all about the marketing aspect, or are there other points we are also discussing? Yeah. I mean, if we start talking about technology, then that's a very long list. And see, people start with sophistication usually. They start with the most complex things. They say, oh, let us do social media, let us do SEO, let us do, I don't know, digital marketing. But these are very big words, and to do something called SEO itself, you have to write a lot of articles. Things have changed a lot since the past 5 years. So it's not simple, it's not easy. The amount of investment required into some of these things is fairly large, when compared to a small business that is just spending 10,000 rupees on flyers, etc. And suddenly you have to spend 50, 60,000 rupees on articles and ads and all that. That's a big jump for them, and they are unable to understand that, hey, this will work or not work. So given that, I would say don't look at marketing first, look at your business, and look at things within your business that you feel are painful and are worthy of, let's say, automating. I will give you a very simple example. You may have thousands of customers, but every time you introduce a new product, are you communicating to them? How are you doing that? If you're sending just WhatsApp messages, they may not ever receive it because they may not have you in their address books, and which means your broadcast message never reaches them. So are you sending them text messages, for example? People still read text messages, by the way. Huh? There are, of course, a lot of regulations around it, but people still do read them. Are you sending them something as a simple email? A lot of people read emails very diligently. They may not respond, but are you doing the basics right? If you're not doing the basics of keeping in touch with your your existing customers, simplifying various aspects of your business, I don't think you should be looking at anything wonderful, anything very complicated, or jumping onto the bandwagon saying that let me use digital to expand my business. That won't happen. That's a very frustrating experience for a lot of people. They assume that this is going to solve the things magically. It doesn't solve it. It just complicates life because you have one more thing to manage now. See, if they need it, they're seeking you. Most of the people don't need it. They have heard about it, they're fascinated by it. So I will reverse it, in fact, Tufel. What I usually say is, in India, what really works well, look across industries. Low price, high volume works really well. So rather than, and of course, there are segments of customers in India. You can also have very high price and low number of customers. But if you want to impact more lives, you have to reduce the cost and try to give them simple solutions. I'll give you a simple solution here, right? Go to a business and say, hey, are you using WhatsApp? Here is a WhatsApp business, tool. Put your catalog in it. I'll help you put your catalog on it, and I'll charge you 1,000 rupees for that. It's a very silly and simple thing. You can hire, in fact, you can hire some interns to run around and do that in your town, right? But if you cover 50, 60,000 businesses, that is a huge market, right? You can charge them a nominal amount to help them kind of keep it up, and give them training videos every single day, small training videos which they see on WhatsApp, what they can do with their WhatsApp business account itself. There are people doing that in North India, I know of, and they're earning a lot of money because they're impacting a lot of lives. There are a lot of other some simple solutions. Rather than trying to do something complicated and introducing the customer to something completely new, see what they are using today and see if you can make them better at that, improve their business just using what they are doing today itself. um, one normal something that nearby my home, one small shop guy had asked, how do I get my pin on Google Map? I want to know that. So I helped them with the Google My Business account and told them how to do that, and they're happy. Every day they put some photograph of some new customer coming, and this is a tire shop. So they put that new wheel on the car and they put the photograph. They're very happy with that. Every single day people are coming, and you won't believe it, just because they have put the number there on Google Maps, every single day the number of enquiries have gone up to 1,500 enquiries in a month. At one point when they started the shop, they were expecting in a week, if I get 2 customers, I'm happy with it. Today they are booked. And this is very interesting. What is more interesting to me than giving them a solution that is complex and trying to solve a lot of complicated problem, a simple thing that increase their revenue. And they're asking me now, can you help us improve this? What else can you offer me? So I gave them this example of WhatsApp My Business, which they were aware of, but they did not know how to use the catalog and all that. So the catalog is put in place now. They have tire changing, this service, that service, all the services are put in place. The We have gone one step beyond that. Now the question they're asking is, okay, I have all this covered now. What do I do next? The next is maybe customer education using small WhatsApp videos, which they can send to their customers, one at a time. But that's a little complicated, and I'm hesitating to introduce this because they will have to do the work on that. So anything where the customer has to do additional work, there will always be a pushback from them. They will always say, no, no, this is not something that I am going to do, or they will take the service from you, or they will take the product or the solution from you, and they will never use it. They will come back to you and say, this is a bad product. You might have faced a situation where they will blame you for the failure because they are not able to use it. So I have, in fact, if you have heard me on Clubhouse, about a year ago, I was of the opinion, let me introduce what I know. Now my position has completely flipped because I speak to so many people, and I understand they don't have time. Most small businesses don't have time. They're so busy on a daily basis from 8 in the morning to 8 in the night, they just can't handle something additional beyond what they are doing. So if you can save them time, if you can then get them more customers, they are happy to work with you, but they are not going to pay you 50,000 rupees for that. That's also true. So two issues that we as service providers or digital marketers have to solve at our end. Number one is make small affordable things, that is 500 rupees, 1000 rupees, 5000 rupees maybe. Build them in a manner that it's scalable. We should not get stuck in a place, oh, to service 5000 customers we need 500 people. That will never scale because the cost of doing that is so high, you cannot control quality or cost then. So building out systems, solutions, even tactics and techniques which are scalable, low cost, affordable by customers, and implementable immediately. It should not take them 1 month to learn and implement. It's in the business, inside the business itself. This is the lowest hanging fruit in India today, which nobody is trying to solve for. Once we solve for that, it becomes easier to upsell to them next solution, and the solution after that. But you have to get customers onboarded to a physical plus digital kind of a ecosystem. Then only you can go to the next level. That's my thought. I mean, I could be wrong, as I always say. Yeah, another aspect you should also look at is there are levels of customers, right? One person may be happy with Google My Business. Another person may say, no, no, I need to put the entire Zoho campaign suite on top of my business. There could be yet other people who are already implementing ERP systems and they want a full-fledged digital marketing solution. So there are 3, 4 different types of things, right? One is automation of the business, productivity of the business, systems inside the business, marketing automation, marketing systems itself, digital marketing itself. A very, very silly and simple thing in India, which I have seen, is CRM. Implementing a CRM is like a mega project. I have friends who are either selling CRMs their own, or they are resellers for Zoho and other systems. And these people, their biggest problem is when they go to the customer with this package CRM, the customer says, okay, implement it. But they have so many requirements. They have 100,000 requirements on top of it. Everything they want, small feature. They want to monitor every salesperson. They want to do this and that. So it's the complexity increases to a level when my friends, they go back and say you have to pay 5 lakh rupees to implement this what you have asked. They just don't want a CRM then. They're happy doing that paper trail thing instead of implementing something like this. because they just overcomplicate the entire implementation. A simple system like a CRM system that can save you so much time and effort and improve the overall company's intelligence because everything is captured in one place is not implemented because of the customization requirements that people have and the cost of customization. I mean, they are so unwilling to spend any money on software because of the cost. It's not a rant, but I'm just saying the realities are there. These are realities of our country, and we have to acknowledge them and build systems which will be which are simpler to use than so complicated. Yet to see a good mobile first CRM in India, which will work wonders if somebody gets it cracked. Actually,
Anup, I have one question. Do you have any idea about digital marketing, about freelancing? So we have the skill that need to, we can outsource the things and we can make sure that kind of work activities, any kind of work activities like freelancing. So how to make sure that market digitally that we are able to work as a freelancers. So how to get that customers from digital?
I'm sorry. You are asking how can freelancers get customers?
Yeah.
Okay, freelancing and custom. See, the problem with freelancers and anybody who's a solopreneur is you either do a project or you sell. You can't do both at the same time. It's very difficult. And every kind of digital marketing system doesn't work because you have to spend time on that. And you're a single person. You're either on a project or selling. I mean, it's always going to be the issue. So what you need to do is firstly referrals. Yes, that works really well, easy. Second is use, if you are a freelancer who is selling to another business, please use your LinkedIn really well. Every day morning, connect with 10 people who are potential customers, who may be potential customers. That's all. Don't do too many things. Just send a connection request to 10 people or maximum 20 people Monday to Friday every single day. I can tell you that if you do something this basic, uh, your freelancing journey will change. Very very simple. I mean, and I'm trivializing, or rather I'm simplifying this a lot. There are hundreds of steps involved, but if you use LinkedIn effectively, if that's where your customers are, nothing like it. If Instagram is where most of your customers are, then do this in Instagram. But this helps. This really helps. I
Yes.
was doing freelancing at one time, and this is how I came out of that, freelancing to running an agency.
Yeah, can we attract that outsiders like foreigners, US guys, Canada, or kind of these people?
You can, but they will always look for low cost. So it's better to you sign up on Fiverr and Upwork and all these places.
Yeah, even I tried those things. Okay, it's not working because might be my profile is not good or is kind of not
What do you sell?
even the
What do
view.
you sell, Setu? What do you sell?
I can outsource the RCM things like healthcare, US healthcare providers. I can
No,
make that.
what do you sell? What skill set do you sell?
Yeah, yeah. I just coming to that. What the thing is, provider in the case is a doctor in the US. Okay, when he treat a patient, he gets that information. Okay, about the clinical visit of the patient. He just send back to outsourcing like India or else any other countries. Okay, we take that all the data and we claim that and we send to the insurance company. And once the insurance made a payment, that claim will come back to us and we send to the doctor then stating this have this claim we made it as a played as a middle agent to claim this amount. Okay, this is the role of the what is RCM is revenue cycle management in US healthcare. Okay, there's a lot of project US single providers, they will outsourcing to the India people to make the demographics of patients details and also doctor details and the location of the patient who took the treatment and what treatment he have taken, filing that, sending back to the insurance company, claiming the amount, and returning to the provider. It means doctor. This is what the workaround is. So this skill can I can make sure that I provide 100% freelancing kind of things. Okay. Okay, so I need to connect to this kind of doctors in the US, so I can make build a
Is it
contract daily.
is it doctors or is it insurance providers? Who the customer here?
Doctors is a customer for me because they don't he don't have enough time to file the claim and take care of the insurance company whether the claim paid or else not paid or else why it get denied, which document is missing, what is happened. Because he don't have enough time to do that. Okay, he just outsourced to lower persons. Okay, so when we get the things, we request the documents from the office and we collect all the patient information, doctor information and the service held by there. Okay, so we just make that all the documents at one set, one claim, and we send back to insurance and we claim the amount. So for us, doctor, US doctor is the main customer for us. So
It's
per
very
claim
simple.
he will
It's
pay
very
some of amount. Okay,
yeah.
per claim he might give the 250 rupees or else 500 rupees kind of things. So it will be like a kind of uh, process. I hope you have got
Yeah,
that.
got it, got it. Try cold email marketing. It costs a little bit of money, but it's very sure shot way of selling what you're trying to sell. What happened? You got kicked out. Sidhu, are you back?
Yeah. Sorry for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was just saying, try cold email marketing rather than
But
trying to do anything exotic. Try getting a list of 100 US doctors whom you want to target. Every day, write 20 emails, personalized emails. Don't automate it. Personally, send one email at a time. 20 emails will take you an hour or so. But every day, if you do this, you'll get clients. It's very simple. You don't have to really do anything exotic on this. Just send emails. But make the email about the doctor rather than about you. And just 4 or 5 sentences without any attachment, without any links. If you send links or attachment, it goes to spam. So in the email should have 5 lines. First line should be about the doctor. Hi, I found you through Google, right? And you saw notice that you have a clinic here, and we offer this service to doctors in US, and just mention, right, I mean, which locations doctors, for example, based in San Francisco, based in Miami, etc. You are already working with doctors and well versed with this system, would like to have a chat with you to understand if we can work, if we can offer you similar services, full stop. And if they reply, great. If they don't reply, no problem, because every day you're anyway reaching 20 doctors. There are hundreds of doctors, thousands of doctors, right? In a month, if you send 20 per week, that is 100 people. In a month, you will not exceed 500 people at any rate. If you send 500, if you reach out to 500 different people, at least 5 people will work with you, isn't it?
Yes, that's really great. I try this. I will try. Thank you.
Be careful. Initially, it will be frustrating because many a times your email will not reach the right people. It requires a little more. It's a little more involved, the process. Okay. So my suggestion would be, okay, here is the thing, Sidhu. We are hosting. Tufail, may I mention a room that we want to host next week? All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So on Tuesday, Sidhu, we have a room on email marketing, which I am not put it up in the calendar, but 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. India time, we'll be hosting a room on email marketing. Cold email marketing is the central subject usually. Please join that room. That will definitely give you a lot of information.
Yeah, definitely. I will make sure that I will join that group.
Thank you so much. Tufail, back to you.
Welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Tufail, for bringing me up. Hi, Anu. See, this is I'm actually a consumer of digital marketing. That way means I run a clinic and we use the services of a digital marketing agency to take care of our needs, and we've been working for a long time with them. So, my question is, as a person who uses this sort of services, how do I judge that these services are effective for me? Because I the thing I keep doing is it's not a sort of automated thing, but I keep asking my patients where do you get this information from. So I would say that a significant number of patients are actually person to person referred in my clinic, but there are some people who have visited my website and have come in. So how do I judge that my digital marketing agency is, in fact, bringing me patients into my clinic? So how do I judge that? Anup, yeah,
See,
thank you.
any kind of Matthew, hi by the way, and thank you for using digital services. Firstly, but when you want to judge something, you have to have a baseline, right? And a goal. You have to say the minimum number of patients I need per month is X, and the maximum I'm looking at improving it by this percentage this quarter, and you have to give it a quarter at least, 3 months.
Okay.
That in 3 months period, I want to increase the number of patients from 100 to 800 or 800 to 300 or something realistic. Don't make it a dream, right? I mean, it should be something realistic, something achievable. If your digital marketing agency is bringing in enough walk-ins, enough inquiries, then they are doing a good job. Otherwise, you need to kind of nudge them and say, hey, this is not happening, and sit with them and understand why this is not happening. For every type of clinic, Matthew, I recommend two things today. A very, very simple thing. Number one uh, is that you do your Google My Business really well, because a hospital is a service which we seek out when we need it. People don't have clinics in their let's say, I mean, on their mind all the time. They're not searching for clinics randomly. They're searching for a clinic when somebody is ill, or they need to go to a doctor for a checkup or something like that, right? So it's a need based service. So they search on Google, where is the nearest clinic near me, hair fall clinic near me, orthopedic clinic near me, child specialist clinic near me, etc., right? So you have to optimize for the right set of keywords firstly, and have your Google My Business account really well structured, number one. And it has to be continuously updated. Every week you have to update it. Second, your website should be optimized for local keywords. And Raghavendra here is an expert at the SEO. So when I say local keyword, let us assume that your where is your clinic, by the way? I'm sorry, I didn't ask you.
Yeah, it's in Trivandrum, Kerala.
Where in Trivandrum?
It's in a place called Prashant Nagar. That's Ullur. You are familiar with this area, Anup?
No, I'm from Kerala actually, so
Okay,
I
okay,
travel to Trivandrum quite often. So
sure.
I'm
It's in a
based out
place
of
called Ullur.
Bangalore. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Doesn't matter, right? I mean, let us say whatever that place. So you have to optimize for three things. Number one, that locality. Let's say the road or that location itself. Second is that district or that area, right? Third is
Yeah.
town, Trivandrum itself. So three levels of optimization is required for your local SEO keywords on your website, and you have to specifically target things like child specialist clinic or orthopedic or whatever your clinic is specializing in. General physician, etc. You have to optimize for these words on your website with short articles or short write-ups on the page. That will ensure that your ranking improves for those specific type of keywords. Somebody sitting in Bangalore is definitely not going to visit your clinic, isn't it? Right? But somebody sitting there searching for it is definitely going to visit. The third thing you can do, and this costs money, that is why I don't usually recommend this, is put in a little bit of money every day, 100, 200 rupees, and run something called as Google display ads. What is a Google display ad? It is nothing but whenever you open internet, whenever you open a web page, you will see some ads there. And this ad is served by Google. Google automatically puts these ads on various websites. So they could be colorful banners, there could be any kind of ads. It should be display image, right? So that image with your clinic photo and visit us, etc. There are restrictions for hospitals actually in Google. You can't blatantly advertise, treatment methods and all that. But it is possible to advertise. It is possible to put together a display ad every day, 100, 200 within that location.